Welcome to Bookscape, your sanctuary for book lovers. Here we provide concise summaries and insightful reviews of the best books. Turn off the noise, settle in, and immerse yourself in the world of literature. Discover new favorites and explore captivating stories with Bookscape.
Welcome, curious minds and aspiring negotiators. I'm your host, Darius, and today we're diving deep into Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Prepare yourself for a journey into the high-stakes world of negotiation, where compromise isn't the goal, but victory is. If you've ever wanted to improve your negotiating skills in both your personal and professional life, this book is your ultimate guide. Introduction. Meet Chris Voss. Before we dive into the key principles of this book, let's take a moment to appreciate the man behind it. Chris Voss isn't your average negotiator. He's a former FBI hostage negotiator who has spent years refining the skills necessary to succeed in the most intense negotiations imaginable. When lives were on the line, Voss couldn't afford to settle for anything less than success. In Never Split the Difference, he distills the techniques that helped him navigate those life or death situations into strategies we can use in everyday negotiations, from closing business deals to resolving personal disputes. Voss's strategies aren't just for executives or negotiators. They're for anyone who wants to win without compromising. By the end of this review, you'll understand why splitting the difference is never the best option. The fallacy of compromise. Ever been told that compromise is the key to any good negotiation? Well, Chris Voss is here to tell you why that's a fallacy. Voss argues that compromise often leads to suboptimal outcomes, where neither party gets what they truly want. He writes, "Compromise is the easy way out, because it avoids the hard work of negotiating effectively." In his view, compromise can be a form of surrender. Why give up 50% of what you want when you can get 100%? In one of his famous examples, Voss describes negotiating with kidnappers who demand $1 million. The situation unfolded with a group of kidnappers who had abducted a foreign businessman. The kidnappers demanded a ransom of $1 million for the victim's safe release. Now, most people in such a tense and emotional situation might be tempted to try and strike a middle ground by offering $500,000, hoping the kidnappers would find it reasonable and agree to it. But Voss knew better than to start bargaining by splitting the difference. In this high-stakes environment, Voss understood that making an offer like $500,000 would signal to the kidnappers that they were still in control. It would also reduce the FBI's leverage, essentially showing desperation. Instead, Voss employed the tactical empathy and negotiation techniques he teaches throughout the book. Tactical empathy. Understanding emotions to win. Think negotiation is all about facts and figures? Voss shows us that the key to success lies in understanding emotions. One of Voss's most powerful tools is what he calls tactical empathy. This doesn't mean agreeing with the other side, but rather understanding their emotions and using that knowledge to influence the negotiation. Voss states, "People want to be understood and accepted. Listening is the cheapest yet most effective concession we can make." In the kidnapping situation, rather than making a counteroffer right away, Voss began by engaging the kidnappers in a conversation, what he calls tactical empathy. He asked open-ended questions to get the kidnappers to talk about their situation and motivations. By using mirroring and labeling techniques, Voss was able to build rapport, even in such a hostile environment. For example, instead of challenging the $1 million demand head-on, Voss asked the kidnappers questions like, "How are we supposed to pay that?" This tactic shifted the pressure back onto the kidnappers to justify their demands. Voss also used silence strategically, letting them stew over the question without feeling the need to fill the gap with an offer of his own. By listening deeply and acknowledging the other party's feelings, you can lower their defenses and build trust. This gives you leverage because people are more likely to agree with someone they feel understands them. Whether you're negotiating a business deal or trying to persuade a family member, tactical empathy allows you to connect on a human level and steer the conversation in your favor. The power of no. Voss also uses the concept of no to great effect in his negotiations. While most people fear hearing no, Voss reframes it as an opportunity. In this case, he encouraged the kidnappers to say no to various proposals, knowing that each no would bring them closer to revealing what they truly wanted. This also gave them the illusion of control while allowing Voss to gather critical information without agreeing to anything prematurely. By slowly guiding the kidnappers away from the idea that they could realistically get $1 million, Voss was able to bring the ransom amount down significantly, all while ensuring the safety of the hostage. In the end, the negotiation was a success. Voss didn't meet the kidnappers' demand of $1 million, nor did he offer half of it as a compromise. Instead, through skillful negotiation techniques, anchoring, mirroring, and tactical empathy, he got the kidnappers to agree to a much lower sum, all without sacrificing the key elements of the deal, the hostages' safety and the FBI's credibility. Let's take a closer look at the techniques Voss employed in this negotiation to better understand how they work in practice. Labeling, naming the emotion to diffuse the situation. Want to diffuse a tense situation with just a few words? Voss's labeling technique is the secret weapon you've been waiting for. Labeling is a strategy where you identify and name the other person's emotions to acknowledge their feelings and reduce tension. Voss writes, "When you label someone's emotions, you show them that you understand what they're going through, which helps them feel heard and validated." For example, if a client is upset about a delay, you could say, "It seems like you're frustrated with how things are going." This acknowledgement doesn't solve the problem immediately, but it lowers their defenses and opens the door for a more productive conversation. Labeling helps to take the sting out of negative emotions and puts you in a better position to guide the negotiation toward a solution. The Arian Model, a negotiation game plan. Forget the standard back-and-forth bargaining tactics. Voss's Arian Model is a calculated game plan that maximizes your chances of success. The Arian Model is a highly structured, strategic approach to negotiation. It involves making a series of calculated offers, starting with an extreme anchor, and working your way toward a final number that's just slightly above your actual target. Voss explains, "Start with an anchor that's at 65% of your target price and make each subsequent offer progressively smaller." This method creates the illusion of giving in, while in reality, you are steering the negotiation toward the outcome you want. The other party feels like they are extracting concessions from you, but you are actually controlling the pace and direction of the negotiation. Voss used this technique in high-stakes FBI negotiations, but it can be applied to anything, from buying a car to negotiating a salary. Calibrated questions, controlling the conversation without seeming to. What if you could steer any negotiation by simply asking the right questions? Voss introduces calibrated questions, open-ended questions that push the other party to work with you to solve the problem. Instead of saying, "You need to give me a lower price," you might ask, "How am I supposed to do that at this price point?" These questions subtly force the other side to consider your constraints while making them feel like they are in control. Voss calls this the art of letting the other party have your way. By asking calibrated questions, you keep the conversation going, encourage collaboration, and guide the negotiation toward your desired outcome. The late-night DJ voice. Using tone to influence. Think your words are the most important part of negotiation? Think again. Your tone might be doing more than you realize. Voss emphasizes the power of tone in negotiation, particularly what he calls the late-night FM DJ voice. a calm, soothing tone that lowers the other party's defenses and makes them more agreeable. He explains, your voice can shape the entire atmosphere of the conversation. A calm, slow voice conveys empathy and reassures the other person that you are working with them, not against them. By mastering your tone, you can create a sense of calm even in the most high-pressure negotiations. This technique is particularly useful in situations where emotions are running high, as it helps to de-escalate tension and bring the conversation back to a rational place. The Black Swan Theory. Discovering the hidden information. What if I told you that in every negotiation, there's hidden information, small but critical, that could change everything? This is where Voss introduces the Black Swan Theory. In Never Split the Difference, Chris Voss describes black swans as those seemingly insignificant, hidden pieces of information that can dramatically alter the outcome of a negotiation. Just as the discovery of black swans shattered the belief that all swans are white, these hidden facts can reveal opportunities or risks that change the entire dynamic. Voss explains, the more you know about someone's motivations, the more you can persuade them. Hidden truths, black swans, are leverage multipliers that can give you the upper hand. He stresses that uncovering these black swans requires active listening, asking the right questions, and maintaining an open mind throughout the negotiation process. For example, a negotiator might assume that price is the main issue on the table, but through skilled questioning and empathy, they discover that the other party's biggest concern is timing or relationship building. By focusing on the real underlying issue, the negotiator can craft a deal that meets the needs of both parties without compromising on price. The takeaway? There's always more to the story than meets the eye. To succeed in negotiations, you must uncover those black swans and use them to guide the conversation toward a favorable outcome. Voss calls this unlocking the unknown unknowns. With the right approach, what was once hidden becomes the key to success. Final thoughts: the power of negotiation mastery. As we conclude this deep dive into Never Split the Difference, it's clear that Chris Voss has redefined what it means to be a master negotiator. From tactical empathy to uncovering black swans, Voss's techniques allow you to influence others without force or compromise. The core lesson? Negotiation isn't about meeting halfway. It's about steering the conversation in a way that ensures you come out ahead, while making the other party feel like they've won too. So, next time you're in a tough negotiation, remember to listen carefully, label emotions, ask the right questions, and most importantly, never split the difference. Until next time, keep negotiating like your success depends on it. Because, as Chris Voss would say, it often does.
Thanks for joining us on Bookscape. If you enjoyed this book summary and review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts and book recommendations in the comments below. If you want to purchase a copy of the book or audiobook, check out the link in the description. Until next time, happy reading, and remember, every journey begins with a book.